Welcome back in. You're tuned into The Leg Up, your domestic thoroughbred weekly preview podcast. And Cup Week rolls on. New Zealand Cup Week now after Melbourne Cup Week last Saturday. And gee, it's one for the stayers, boys, isn't it? New Zealand Cup Week. I used to be able to get through a whole week down there, but I'll be no-show now.
Matty Cross. How does he do it?
Yeah, exactly.
I see he's commentating at Ashburton today. You'd think they'd give him the day off and let him refresh.
Got two big
day
days
tomorrow
coming up.
and then Cup Day on Saturday. But gee, he does an enormous job down there on Cup Week. But it's been a fantastic week. Back to the thoroughbreds purely. I thought the track has played outstandingly. It's been presented well. It was a dead 4 on day 1 and the 2,000 guineas day. And then the middle day, thought they had the odd showers Sunday, Monday to bring that track back to slow. But I thought the track played well enough yesterday. There was an upgrade, which wasn't formally regarded through NZTR, but I had it on times an upgrade round race 6, race 7 to a dead 5, maybe a dead 6 at worst.
Okay.
That's what will be going in my database. But look, I thought horses won from everywhere. There wasn't a fast lane presented at any stage throughout the 2 days, and there was many lanes they were winning from. So the tracks played very well.
Yeah. Any highlights from? I mean, obviously the Agon. Agon won the 2,000 guineas, man, barely standing. You might remember that.
Just held on. Yeah,
it did just hold on. It was a good run from Bourbon here, but your bet of the day, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and a lovely win by Beavertown Boy on day 2. Very, very happy connections.
I did see them in the birdcage. Good interview from Aidan.
Another hard worker down there.
Yeah, he's a true. He is a stayer. And then on the middle day, Hypnos got the job done, Steve.
It was a while back commodity and futures markets too. We took a bit of a hit there. I think it was around about $31 top price in futures. But since that Hawke's Bay Carnival, it just trickled down and went to favourite maybe a fortnight or so ago. And it's about selecting or identifying those runners that are making the trip down south. When it comes to the Couplan's Mile, there's many a good horse that probably would sit in front of Hypnos if they made the trip down. But a lot of the Northerners didn't go down to the Couplan's Mile for whatever reason. And Hypnos was well identified as one horse that was making the trip out of that stable, which I talked about last week. It continues to do the job, the James Wellwood stable, and it's a strike rate that keeps improving, and the punters are going to back into that space.
Yeah, okay. Speaking of strike rates, man, barely standing, the Pitmans having a fair old time of it down there. Terry Ray, I think she got 4 on the first day.
And the Gills having a great day time down there as well. Daniel Johnson, Tina Komanyagi, Lisa Allpress, then Courtney Barnes. Hey. Gills just want to have fun.
Follow the female jockeys, okay. There might be a tip for tomorrow. Let's bring Brendan Popplewell in. Good afternoon, BP. How's your Cup Week travelling, mate? Have you managed to find a winner or two?
Absolutely, yes. It's been a good week so far. So really enjoyed what we've seen so far. Cup Day Tuesday was a terrific day out of Addington. Great coverage from the team, especially with this whole week is a lot different for a trackside point of view because we've got a lot less people on the ground and a lot less manpower behind the scenes as well. So it's been great week so far. Really enjoyed yesterday, Copeland's Day. What a crowd as well. That's possibly one of the biggest crowds I've seen at Riccarton for Copeland's Day. There was a lot of fans on course that were really enjoying the day and looked like a terrific day of racing as well with the warm weather and what have you. And the racing stood up. The figures, sounds like the figures were really good too, guys. So people are betting strongly throughout this week.
Yeah, no, apparently by all accounts, turnover's been strong around the week. What about a mater of the week, VP? What have you spotted down there, down south for us that we can follow with a bit of confidence?
Well, this one is probably purely because I was on it, but Beavertown Boys is going to be my maiden of the week. Look, pretty good first up, considering it was the Miss Tycoon Rose form line when finishing on and behind that horse. Troy Harris with his beautiful soft hands was able to get into a 3-wide train and then finish over the top. So that's the maiden of the week.
I heard from a good judge after the race, of course. So like all these people after the race, Steve, they put who rode it the first day? Pops, do you know? I think it was a apprentice, or then Troy Harris for the second day. So it was the old bug boy on day 1. And
I think Sarah McNabb was on. Not like she's not riding poorly though.
No, I don't mean to. But it was the bringing this big hitter, the pinch hitter for day 2, and the money came big time for Beavertown Boys. So yeah, that's one. Okay, you got on Pops. What did you get? Anything? It was well backed. I think it was like 650 or something into 420. Did you shop well?
Sevens.
Oh, jeez, okay. Better than I even thought.
Again, we speak about a lower turn than what
Yes,
we advertise a lower turn than what actually punters got on. So
no one got sevens, of course. Oh yeah, no sevens. Right. Okay. Well done to Pops around that one. You'll be looking forward to tomorrow, BP. 1,000 guineas. That's a good finish to the week, isn't it?
Oh, it's a ripper.
Sorry, Saturday, I should say. We've got
Saturday.
Yeah.
No, it's a great day, isn't it? I mean, again, this is a big crowd day. This is the biggest crowd day of them all on Saturday coming up. And New Zealand Cup it's about Cup week. Of course, the highlight is going to be the 1,000 guineas, but the Cup has got enough strength to the race to say that it's going to be a competitive race, and also the Welcome Stakes is an interesting race to sort of go over as well. But yeah, this 1,000 guineas is a race that one that holds a lot of intrigue, especially around the favourite, because she's been purchased for a higher price and she's off to Chris Waller's after the weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's get into it, boys. And 1,000 guineas is the race we do want to have a look at first. And this field has stacked up, Steve. It's a hell of a field. Pops refers to the favourite, who looks a very, very talented filly indeed, but she's going to have a bit of competition.
You're quite the opposite from the 2,000 guineas, where two horses profiled in terms of a betting picture in the 2,000 guineas. But this is not the case. There's 4 or 5 that's been well played in the first 24 hours of betting. One of them being the favourite, Tinker Mcphee, 310 into 270, holds 3 times more money than the second best back runner, which we'll come to shortly. Bonham, 550 out to 6. Tokarangi, this is the other firmer, 850 into 7. Carmelas, 7 out to $8. Cornflower Blue, 11 into 9. So there are 3 firmers, Tinker Mcphee, Tokarangi, Cornflower Blue. Vitesbo at 950. Then there's a little bit of a gap. Miss Tycoon Rose at 21. Delatia 23 with Matchmaker. Waimuku Falls 26. Fashion Shoot 34. Kelly Renee 41. Embers 41 out to 61 on the quick backup. And Da Vinci Girl, the maiden, of 51, have got the colds out to 81.
Okay. Gee, as well. Right, so that's a great field, BP. It's stacked up well. Are you in the Tinker Mcphee camp, or maybe another one of these talented fillies? Which way are you going in the 1,000 guineas?
It has stacked up, hasn't it? And you'd have to go over maybe the last 3 or 4 weeks, and it was looking like a race that was, that the strength was going to be through the boys' race and the 2,000 guineas. But now, after we've seen the Syracusa Stakes and horses that have performed well in that, and then, of course, Tinker Mcphee running really good in the Sarton. You've got Cornflower Blue, who's been down there. You've Vitesbo, who wins a War Decree Stakes, winning its first start of the races. All of a sudden, this race has got a lot of depth through it for the 1,000 guineas. So, first of all, Tinker Mcphee, I mean, her sectionals have been unbelievable with what she's done at her last 2 starts. A big effort to run third in the Sarton, to be honest with you guys, because from where she came from and with the splits that she was able to produce, it was a big run. And of course, the runner that ran second in that race did come out and nearly pull off the 2,000 guineas in Bourbonnais last week. So I think she's got the right draw, guys. The track condition keeps coming back, which is going to be in her favour. I really find her awfully hard to beat.
Yeah, 270. What do you think, Man Barely Standing? Are you with her, or will you like a little bit more value in your pick?
It's certainly the one to beat. Bottom's done nothing wrong.
No, 2 from 2, isn't it? Or
2 from 2. Yep. Beat White Lightning and Delatia last time out, and they've both come out and won. Of course, Delatia picked up the soliloquy, so it's not a bad form line.
No.
And Tokarangi, who has been getting back and absolutely flying home.
Yeah.
That if they can get a wee bit more handier, certainly a chance. But as BP said, Tinker Mcphee is the one to beat.
Who do we need on our multiples, Pops, around the favourite here? Obviously, the 2 that Paul mentioned, obviously right in play, to be fair.
Look, I think Tokarangi is the horse that off her run in the Soliloquy Stakes was brilliant to finish into 3rd position, especially considering her last 200 metres in that race. She came home in 11:08. So she's a horse that's going to have to go back. She's going to have to go back from her wide barrow draw of 14. But we know that she's been breathtaking so far in her 2 runs back this season by running 4th in a Gold Trail Stakes. So, yes, I'm sure they would have liked a softer draw so they don't have to go back and try and go around the whole field. But she's a horse I think you've got to be looking out for late in the piece. Away from those 2 runners, look, I do think Vitesbo has to be considered a chance in the race, because she is a horse that has gone to 1,600 metres and has been a winner. And, of course, she did beat home the boys. Now, she beat home Marine, who has come out and been placed in the 2,000 guineas. So I respect her here in this market. And then Karma Lass, who does bounce out of the Soliloquy Stakes as well, when just missing when finishing into second position. We haven't mentioned De La Terre, who won that race, does have to come from an outside draw. And Stephen, you would imagine that they'll be looking to be very positive once again with her.
Yeah, I do love how she's won at the mile. You saw 2,000 guineas.
You're talking about Vitesse Bow?
Vitesse Bow.
Yeah, sorry.
Vitesse Bow just
was it hard to line it up with the other races? Or yeah.
Well, there's three races. Vitesse Bow winning down south in the Water Cree, and then you've got the Soliloquy, and then the Barneswood Farm. The Barneswood Farm, where Cornflower Blue did the job, rates about 2 lengths below the Soliloquy. So she'll have to improve, even though I can see she's going to get a fantastic run drawing the ace, Cornflower Blue, but she probably wants the race to be run today, if not yesterday, on those slow track conditions. So with warm and fine weather for the next 48 hours, I think the track will come back to the better side of dead, maybe around that dead 4 or 5 track conditions, which, yes, there's going to be a bit of give, bit of yielding in the surface, but I think she has to improve at least 2 lengths to measure up to the top fillies from the north, Cornflower Blue.
Yep.
But again, she's a betting profile. Jamie Richards, Danielle Johnson does the riding. So no surprise there's been money at a double-figure price. For Tespo, as I mentioned, I love BP's thoughts that the horse is won at a mile and it's proven at 1,600 metres.
Exactly that, yeah.
And we saw last week the 2 best milers, or strongest at 1,600 metres, Cornella the 2,000 guineas. I think the same will be for the 1,000 guineas. There'll be a few horses here found out over the last 200 metres of the race. So it's an intriguing race. Tinker Mcphee, very hard to frame up. She was sitting around that 240, 230 mark and all in betting. We hold a decent liability around her.
Yep.
She was 101 prior to winning her maiden race at Matamata, beating Brando, etc.
Right.
She was around that $21, $26 price a few hours post that win. But she's really been tumbling in the last month or so, and she didn't lose any admirers, even though she was a beaten favourite in the Sarton against the boys. So she got at $3.10 in terms of the final field betting.
Yep.
She's backed in under that $3 mark in the first 24 hours. And again, she's going to be a decent hold / liability in final field betting. So good field. Interesting to hear BP's thoughts around Miss Tycoon
That's
Rose.
the horse I wanted to talk about. Yeah.
She's a hard horse to place, BP. She did the job, and she ran okay figures. Good enough figures to say she's a top 4 chance. I think it was the second fastest last 200 of the day. The form stacked out of it in terms of Beavertown Boy, which we've already touched on in the show, and also Sacred Saga, who finished in behind Miss Tycoon Rose in that maiden race, has come out and won 2 since. So where do you sit her in the market?
I think she's the best roughie. I think she does sit as the best roughie in the race because I've really been taken with what she's done, and especially with how she built towards that maiden victory. I think she's the horse, and I even got that little hint as well from the Pitmans throughout the week when they keep talking about this horse that she is a real life chance in the race. So I think she sort of sits, and it's funny because we're talking about a horse who's just won the one race compared to a runner like the winner of the Soliloquy Stakes who sits at the same price. But is drawn out as De La Terre and is going to have to do the extra work. I feel as though she is a genuine chance of running in the money, Miss Tycoon Rose. I haven't got her in my 4 selections as such, but playing first 4s there, I think she sort of sits on that 3rd or 4th row on the ticket when you're trying to add in those extra runners. So Bonham's is one that I'm trying to work out as well, guys. Again, Bonham's probably like Cornflower Blue. Would have loved the race to have been run yesterday on those track conditions where the horse can really get into the ground. Now, we haven't seen her on top of the ground, so we're only going off what we've seen. Of course, she's very likely that she's going to have no problem with it because she looks like a horse that has got something about her. But I found her the hardest out of all runners in the race to try and place in this year's 1,000 guineas.
Yeah, but you can't knock punters backing her, Bonham. You just can't knock her. You can't knock the horse 2 from 2. Just has to replicate that form which we've seen on a heavy slow track, which BP has
lined up that
on
form for us a wee bit as well. There was some threads there, weren't there? Yeah,
there is a slight link that you can match up with the Soliloquy. So and it comes out of a stable that can do the job on the big day.
Yeah, absolutely. A strike rate stable, Bonham. Does it just come up maybe just a bit soon, Miss Tycoon Rose? Steve, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, she looked very good the other day.
Yeah. Look, I think she's safe around that price at 21, 23. I don't think she's going to come in drastically off that line. I think she's found her mark. We've kept her safe because there is a sense of timing. Look, it might be maybe a start too early for her, but I don't know. I don't think that should put off customers. If you backed her at the short odds last start when she broke maiden class and you're seeing $23 next to her price, I wouldn't get put off. There is a sense of timing around here. And these fillies this time of the year, they can grow a length or two within 1 or 2 runs. So you might be looking back in 6 months' time and saying, how the hell did she pay $23?
Yeah, go to the new peak or whatever, but very quickly. Miss Tycoon Rose. Right, Man Barely Standing in 1. Is it Tinker Mcphee or not?
Definitely Tinker Mcphee on top.
Okay, you're going with the favourite. I see Karma Lass, Steve, got the concussion plates on. Does that ever... Like when you see that, I get a bit nervy when I see that sort of thing. Concussion plates going on around Karma Lass. Have you heard anything? Do you know anything around that?
Yeah, there's a couple that have concussion plates here. Fashion Shoot and Karma Lass, which is obviously in the market. So look, Jamie Richards, I've just noticed throughout this carnival has added concussion plates to a lot of his fillies and mares throughout the carnival. Look, I did a little bit of homework, and normally many punters would identify concussion plates as a negative variable, but that's just not the case.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's just not
I'm
the
going
case.
wrong, you tell me.
Since 2017 onwards, more than 100 horses have added concussion plates. It stands to be 10% profit on turnover on those runners.
Okay.
So it's a space that the pros believe to have an edge over the general market.
Yeah. So people are going to be gun shy when they see concussion plates like me, muggins like me.
Yeah, so their true price might go out
initially,
a percentage, and that's where the pros are identifying those runners. The general market have gone off them because of the concussion plates. They might go out a few turns. The pros have said, well, that's too much in terms of that variable, that gear change. I think Jamie, he adds them, and I could be wrong, I think he adds them to suggest that they're not feeling their hooves right now at present, but he just wants to look after them and get them back up to the north, continue their preparation over the summer. And so he adds them before they get a bit sore.
Those tracks in the middle of summer.
Exactly. And Riccarton can play firm at times. We've had the showers during the week, so it's not going to get to that good 3 position. But look, overall, from what I'm seeing and the pros punt into, it's a gear change you do not want to make as a negative.
Okay. That is interesting. Okay, well, usually I do. So it's a bit of insurance, you reckon? Jamie's just a bit of insurance and trying to keep the filly going for a bit longer, or preserve it.
You just look at it, and again, the pros went quite hard. Now I know Supreme Khan got beaten, and it was on merit. I don't think it had anything to do with the concussion plates yesterday. But the pros were with it.
Supreme
Khan went in, I think, 10 or so turns. I can't remember what price we opened at Supreme Khan, but it was one of our bigger liabilities throughout the card. BP will know. He was probably on the job.
Was on,
Avanello's another interesting runner tomorrow, or on the Welcome Stakes on Saturday, that's got a game for Jamie Richards, concussion plates. I think that's just a caution around a 2-year-old early in its prep. So, no, I'm stressing to customers out there, it's not a negative play.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, we don't have to worry about that. And with Karma less than $8 for the Tiaka filly who ran so well last start. Top 4 pops in this year's 1,000 guineas, please. You've been a big fan of Tinker Mcphee for a little while now. She's on top, I presume.
Yeah. Well, since we saw her drop Brando in that maiden race out of Matamata, and even her trial leading into that race, there's something about her, and they were keen to snaffle her as well. Those that were in the market to look for a good filly, so she's gone for a good price, and she's backed it up with her run in the Sart in Israel as well. So 9 on top.
What price do you see her closing at?
I see her getting to that. I reckon she gets to that 220, 230 mark. I think she gets very close to where you had her in your futures markets, to be honest with you, because she's going to build a lot throughout the day. There's going to be multis finishing on her. Favourite start rolling up. It's going to be free spins on free spins. I think she's a horse that's going to be getting rather short in the market as we get.
She has that gate speed. I mean, she was defaulted back to where she met because of that wide gate in the Sarton, but 2 starts prior to that, she situated herself 6 in her. She had the speed to put herself no worse than midfield, and I think she'll be looking for that similar map on Saturday. So,
okay, what do you got in behind her, Pops?
Definitely Tokarangi. I think she's the horse that is the great play in the race. She is going to have to go past every horse in the race, but I think she's shown that she's more than capable of running a big race into the money. Then I'm going for Vitesse Bow because the horse is proven at the 1,600 metres, and I like what she did there last time to the races. After that, I think you could pick 4 or 5 other runners, but I'll look towards Karma Lass, and definitely Miss Tycoon Rose is going on my first 4 ticket as well, number 13, top race.
I reckon Pops isn't far off there. I might take a little box Quinella with his selections, to be honest. Let's nip to the New Zealand Cup, guys. Race number 10 on the card over the 3,200 metres. I'm going to get it right. It's the Christchurch Casino 157th New Zealand Cup. Joint favourites here, Steve, and pretty much a capacity field.
Your great betting race, headed by the Good Fight and Lincoln King, 4-8 each of 2. They match dollar for dollar in early trading. Robusto, probably the best lead, and what I say is a competitive affair at a $6 price. Gorbatroff at $7.50. Dragon Storm, well played at $8. Hurricane at $9.50. Then we've got a Division 2 here, led by 5 Princes at $18, and Dr. Valacious and Plashenko. Salsafera at $19. D&G 23 with Duarissimo. And best of the rest is Major Tom at 31. So, again, punters pretty keen to back the Northerners here. Robusto, a slight lead over the Good Fight and Lincoln King.
These are the sort of races, Pops, where you earn your exorbitant fee, leg up fee here, trying to decipher this form line.
Yes, I'm just waiting for that fee to arrive in the mail. Hopefully, there'll be some sort of check coming my way. But
yeah, of course, yeah.
Look, this is a race where it is full of depth, isn't it? There's enough depth to the New Zealand Cup. I think you've got to like the Metropolitan form with horses like Robusto, good run from Lincoln King, and the Good Fight as well. I'm really drawn to the 16 in the book, though, and Dragon Storm. I mean, he is by a Melbourne Cup winner out of a 2-time Auckland Cup winner over 3,200 metres. He's got the breeding to go 3,200. He won last start by 5 lengths in the Road to the Jericho for 3,000 metres. He looks spot on. He's got 53 kilos. He's run 5th in a Wellington Cup. Last preparation, he was beaten 15th in the Auckland Cup, but this is not as strong as the Auckland Cup, the New Zealand Cup. I just think he's very well placed in the race on the weekend. So I'm happy to be on him. I'm also liking one out of the Metropolitan, and I'm definitely keen to have a speaking on this at the big price.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the horse that won it last year in D&G. Now, you look at the form lines, and this is what Paul Mawadi normally turns up on a Monday morning with, and that's a big tray of donuts. But that's this is a horse I think that can run a race on Saturday. Her last 200 metres was the fastest last 200 in the Metropolitan, which proves to me that she's still going well, and she was going through her gears over 2,500 metres and taking ground off horses in front of her. 3,200 metres, no issue, as we've seen her winning this race last year. Been placed in a Wellington Cup as well back in 2019, so and close up in an Auckland Cup. So her form will say absolutely not, but just what I saw last start, I think there's enough there to say have her in your trifectas and first fours at a really big price.
G23s, Steve, for the defending champ here, D&G.
Oh, I think a few customers were hoping for a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
We broke it down sectionally. We didn't miss the last 200. And I think from that wide gate, they'll come across and sit in the first 4 or 5. They'll have options there. Leah from that wide gate, Leah Hemi, who rides the horse so well, will just take her option of how far she goes forward. She can see all the action work underneath her in the first couple of furlongs when they go past the winning post for the first time. But I think D&G, unless BP has different thoughts around the map, I think they'll look to go forward from that outside jaw.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think they will. I think this is the best way to be able to try and get this horse in a position and in a really good rhythm. And we've seen her idle forward. I mean, I remember the Auckland Cup run, for instance, when she ran into 4th position. She went forward. She did a torrent of work in that race. And as I said beforehand, it was a really strong Auckland Cup 2 years ago. And with how she won last year, she just keeps sticking at it. She is a very, very gutsy mare. A very gutsy mare is D&G. So, I think she's a worthy bet at the each way anyway. But I'm on Dragon Storm, but I want her a higher end of first fours and definitely having a spec each way.
We wouldn't mind another Terrell Charles interview, would be man barely standing. Just saw her on TV there watching a replay of the New Zealand Cup. She was loving it, wasn't she?
That was just a wonderful, wonderful moment.
Wasn't it a great
racing.
moment? Yeah.
I just want to know, Uber Eats arrived? Have they, BP?
Sorry, it's just some more mail coming through for Ash Burton.
I'll give you the tip. If you take a tray of donuts around, we call them Cook Island wedding rings. You take a tray of donuts around to someone's house, you're proposing. So you got to be very, very careful when you're taking around a tray of donuts, big guy. You better be serious.
That's mean business. Who do you like, man, Billy Standing? Who do you have on top, mate?
I really, really like Dragon Storm as well.
Hang on.
As BP said, bred for the 2 miles.
Yeah.
Out of the dam that he's twice won the Auckland Cup and was second in the Oaks.
Right, yeah, very good.
The win in the road to the Jericho. Well, back in that race was Madame de Soir, who came out and won on day 2.
Yep.
So, look, I tell you, and carrying hardly anything at all.
53,
Yeah, that's half of me.
Okay.
So, I really, I've got Dragon Storm on top.
Okay, $8. You'll be pleased with that then.
Very happy.
8 and 280. Not a bad place bet either. What else is in there? I've been a Lincoln King fan for a while, but got a spot for Lincoln King.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very, very nice run in the Metrop. So, in there as well. Is that another shocking? Wow.
Okay. Yeah, right.
She was out, and he's out of a mare that was good enough to win a summer cup over 2,500
You know that
metres.
mare well, don't you?
Yeah.
She Can Fly. Is it She Can Fly?
Yeah, the uncle bred it and sold as a brood mare to Billy Gleeson at Wellfield. But and she also placed in St Ledger as well. She Can Fly. So there's no dramas about the 2 miles around Lincoln King, and just looking about his stride and his stretch about him, his action, particularly on day 1 in the Metropolitan, suggested that 2 miles shouldn't be any dramas. And sectionally, you broke it down, wasn't too inferior to the likes of Hurricane and D&G. And Hurricane, there was only 2 horses that broke 11 seconds for the last 200, or sub 11 seconds for the last 200, and D&G, which we've already touched on, the other horse being Hurricane, who there was little money, wasn't there, Thad, for it on day 1.
I got sucked in, but that's just me.
It's a stable that are well calculated. They know how to do. They know how to do the job when it comes to a 2 mile event, and they had a long break between runs, and I think that was just a blowout in the first day, and I wouldn't be dropping it.
It hadn't raced in a while, had it?
No, it hadn't. Had a couple of jump outs in the CD, but I think that's got natural improvement. Not sure the market want to be with it, but
would they have been hoping for a little sprinkle of rain?
Absolutely, I think that would have been ideal, but I don't want to totally knock it.
No,
on a track that's going to present probably around a dead 5, dead 6. So we've kept it fairly safe for Hurricane at $9.50, but maybe from what I'm seeing early doors that you're going to get double figures.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he wasn't bad late. They don't pay for those late sectionals, though. Sadly. What do we do with a good fight, BP? I want to talk about this horse just briefly. I can't catch him, and I've sort of stopped trying.
Is he a gunner?
Well, I don't.
Well, here's a stat before we go to BP.
Okay, good. Yep.
8 times he started favourite for 2 wins.
Yeah, right.
Is that a gunner or not?
Look, I don't want to knock laws because he's competitive in all these races. You know, he's competitive in Wellington Cups. He's not wouldn't be able to place in a City of Auckland Cup.
We're about to post a picture framed up on our wall in the office, but we'll wait till Saturday evening. But
yeah, look, I mean, he could come out and donkey lick them if he's in the right mood, BP.
Yeah, look, he is a very hard horse to assess. I know where Stephen's going with this, but I think at the same time he's always there, isn't he? And I think he's going to beat home more horses home than get defeated by them, isn't he? And that's the sort of galloper he is. So he's a must for your tries and first fours. I think he'll run a solid race again on the weekend. He's nearly won the Wellington Cup when running second. And he's been, 6th in an Auckland Cup. So they're all good form lines to say that he can be a hope in this Wellington Cup. The other horse is probably Gorbachev, a Wellington Cup winner as well, and 3rd in this race last year. He's a horse that'll see the trip out no problem whatsoever. I think Lincoln King won a good race last week to say that he's on the mark for 3,200 metres. And then, of course, the winner of the Metropolitan Robusto, who's a horse that has really come on in the last couple of months. And she's gutsy. She's by Z, and she just keeps on giving.
Yeah, she was tough the other day. She was tough at Tarapa too, the start prior. So Robusto, and as well backed, Steve, is Robusto.
It is well backed. Holds the highest amount of turnover in terms of dollars invested on the final field win betting. And just back to the good fight. Look, I don't want to totally knock it because these stayers, they're very they don't bring that high strike rate in terms of winning strike rate.
No, true.
Potentially because their preparation, they're going over shorter distances and they lose that winning strike rate because they're running over trips short of best. But it'll be intriguing to see how heavy they punt for it because he was clearly the best back run in the Metropolitan.
Yeah.
and didn't do the job.
Yeah, I just find him hard to catch now. The good fight doesn't mean he can't come out and do the business. We've got the roughie, D&G, man barely standing, haven't we? You'd agree with, you got anything down the page that we haven't touched on that needs to go in your first fours, etc.?
I don't mind the look at Dr. Velocious. Had some fairly handy runs of late, and I love the fact that Lisa Allpress is jumping on.
Is that backing up from Wednesday? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
How'd it go Wednesday, do we know?
Fair.
Yeah. Pipe opener for Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. Just blow the cobwebs out.
Okay, $18, Dr. Velocious. Backing up from when the quick back up. This is like, Saturday into Tuesday, Melbourne Cup.
Remember the days they used
Sab into,
same day.
Oh, yeah, no, that's bananas, isn't it? Yeah, the old trotters, they do go around about 3 times a night. Okay, so you're pretty set on Dragon Storm here, boys. BP, Dragon Storm all the way, 8s and 280.
Yep, happy to run with it at the price. Mentioned it all. Breeding, really good run, and D&G as well each way.
Okay, beautiful. And man barely standing concurs. It's a nice betting race this year. It's quite strong. I think it's a strong field than last year, Steve, from memory. D&G won the race. I think this has got a bit of depth to it. Yeah,
I think it's important that the Northerners take their input and make their way down, and there's a fair few of them that sit high in the market. So, look, you can't knock it. New Zealand Cup, it's early in the season, so you can't knock the race on previous years.
No, absolutely. Okay, Dragon Storm, the each way bet according to my team here at the League Up. I think $8 and $2.80, very, very nice indeed. We do want to have a look at the listed 2-year-old race. Race number 6 on the card, the Frantic Bloodstock Welcome Stakes, Stephen. We've got a horse here heading in the market who was pretty tough the other day and is now 2 from 2.
Again, a horse that you just can't knock, 2 from 2 early in his career, and that's Follow Your Dreams. $1.90 we posted, and punter's pretty comfortable to take the $1.90. Clearly the best back runner and holds 3 times more money than Avanello, who sits in that second line at $4. Rastani at $6.50. Mozzarella at $11. Global Beauty, best of the rest at $16. But almost one-way traffic around number 1, Follow Your Dreams.
Yeah, out to the 1,000 metres now, Pops, and Avanello wasn't too far away after a relatively tough run when they met last start. Which way are you going here in the Welcome?
Yeah, you could certainly make a case that he has a chance of turning the tables on this horse, but it's pretty hard to knock his winning form, his barrow draw with where he's going to be in running. He's just a hard horse to tip against, isn't he, really? And quite hard to tip against the Quinella between these two horses once again. So I just went with Follow Your Dreams. He might be one that would be, I'm sure that punters will love to roll throughout the day for multis if they're looking to try and play it throughout a massive card of racing. Gee, there's some horses that are competing throughout this carnival, is there not? Massive 12, 13 race days that we've seen over Cup Week. So I'm around the 1 and the 2. Away from those 3, look, I found it hard. Bit of 6, bit of 9, but I'm just keen to play the Quinella and maybe have a win bet on the 1 and Follow Your Dreams. Follow the rail and maybe find the post again.
Yeah, okay. We need to add here, man barely standing around Follow Your Dreams. You'll probably be just rolling up your winnings off the last 2, are you?
Very hard to go past the one at the top of the page, Follow Your Dreams. Avanello, definite chance. I thought if there was a chance outside those 2, maybe Mozzarella.
Oh, yeah. Capitalist.
Yeah, and
Golden Slipper winner, Steve? Capitalist?
I think you're right, yeah.
Didn't she throw the rider?
She did
before the start. Yeah, before the start, and then began awkwardly and couldn't find her stride until late in the race. And
there's
then
a bit of money for her on that day on the back of some trials.
She did finish off nicely, I thought.
Yeah. Tight at the 250. I'm reading you.
Yeah. Look, God, if you wanted an each way go, that's where I'd be hitting Mozzarella, but very hard to go past.
Mozzarella by Capitalist out of a schnitzel mare named Palmer Love. That's not bad. The true Aussie bred, that one, the old Palmy. Do we know anything about Bellardo as a stallion? He's the sire of the second and third favourites, Avanello included. I don't know a lot about Bellardo.
Yeah, European galloper. Stands at Hanoi Stud.
Right.
From memory, his oldest cropper are 2-year-olds in the UK as well.
Right.
At the back end of their season. I think he's produced already 4 stakes winners from memory. I could be wrong there. So he's doing the job early doors in the UK, and I'm sure they'll be running types here in NZ as well.
Yeah, okay, that is interesting.
And you got Contributor, who's new season sire in terms of I think his oldest progeny are 3-year-olds. Contributor, but follow your dreams. The key around this horse is that it should develop into a 12, 14, 1600 metre horse in time. Contributor, he was by High Shap and he was champion middle distance horse. So he won a Ranvid over 2,000 metres and I think a Chippy Norton at a mile. So pedigree suggests that he should get over a bit of trip. So the extra furlong here shouldn't be any dramas. And he's an $8 chance for the Karaka Million and all in betting.
Yeah, right.
Avanello sits at $18 for futures betting around the Karaka Million. So, look, the Southern form normally stacks up early in the season towards the Karaka Million. We've seen it over the years, normally with the Jamie Richards trained gallopers, but it'll be interesting to see how far they develop in terms of that Karaka Million the back end of Jan.
Yeah, okay. Follow your dreams, Pops. Simple as that.
Yes, Avantage is a horse that did that, isn't it? That was, I'm sure, what you were referring to, going south and then going north to win the Karaka Million.
She's done all right since.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. And mozzarella each way, Paul.
I just thought for a little bit of interest, but yeah,
$11.
Be very, very, very hard to get past the top two in the market.
Yeah, for sure. They did very well on that first day. We want to jump up to Tauranga, sorry, I should say, and have a look at the Tauranga Stakes, race number 7 on the card. Nice field. This is a Group 2, Steve.
Group 2, Wait for Age.
Tell me
led
about
by Concert Hall at a $3.10 price. So we've just had a scratching. Go Nicholas has come out. So a lot of these prices have come in on the back of Go Nicholas coming out earlier today. So Concert Hall 310 heads the market in front of Syracusa at 440, Demonetization 460, True Enough 550, Cinerama at $8, Hey Tiger 19 with Watch This Space, Lava Glow at 19 also, and now Nymph ranks the outsider here at $41, but a slight lead around Concert Hall. Again, betting just stifled a touch with the unknown in terms of track conditions come Saturday.
Good to see Concert Hall back to her best BP last time out, and a deserving favourite, you'd say here.
Gee, she was good last start, wasn't she? How she won that Thompson handicap. She is a horse that's on the rise and has really got something, some big missions in mind, you'd imagine, this season with where they go to her. And she's going to be highly competitive in some of our best races coming up over the summer. So, look, she's a horse that will appreciate the track continuing to come back. And you'd imagine so. The weather is very warm in Hamilton today. Of course, it's over in the Kaimais, the race betting at Tauranga, but it's been warm weather up this way. It's a slow 9 at the moment as we do this podcast on Thursday afternoon. So let's just hope that keeps progressing back nicely with the warm weather. So that brings her into the race anyway with her dead track credentials, the way she won last time. She's 2 from 2 on a slow. I'm with her. After that, I'm interested to see if True Enough, what he can do second up. I think he was beaten in open handicap conditions first up in a race yesterday. He won 12 months ago in the spring sprint, but I think he's a horse that we'll see sharp improvement from him back at Wait for Age. He's a horse who I think you have to be very wary of in this race on Saturday, True Enough, and he'll be ideally suited with that track coming back if he gets into that dead bracket as well. So around Concert Hall. And then you've got to try and weigh up Syracusa. I mean, Syracusa 3 starts ago won a rating 65. She's won a Karaka Classic last start. Now she goes up to a Group 2 Wait for Age. This is a massive step up in company from what she's done at her 3 starts ago. But it's that type of race where they're having a shot. Why not? I mean, there's only 9 runners in the race, and there's a rating 63 at the bottom of the field as well. So, she's worthy of having a clean shot at the race for sure.
Gee, they didn't miss it last time, Steve. $6.30 it started in the Karaka.
It was well identified, wasn't it?
Jeez, I'm sure it was that double figures at some point.
Yeah, I think it was touching in at $13 at one stage, Syracusa, and had to beat the handicapper on that occasion. Now it's got to go an extra level at Wait for Age, but I can't knock it.
No.
Went up 9 rating points on the back of that Karaka Classic win, so it's almost getting to the stage where it's worth a throw at the dart, the dartboard in terms of Wait for Age around Syracusa. And I see it wasn't originally nominated on Tuesday, Syracusa. It was a late nom presented on Wednesday when the fields came out, and so was Cinerama. So I'm not sure if this was plan A or they had a look at the overall field and they thought, well, it hasn't come up as strong as maybe first indicated. So
what do we do with Cinerama? Now we've touched on the subject. I'm I'm nervy.
I think look, it gets to a mile, and she holds her PB at a mile, winning the Wairarapa Breeders last season. She just got quite far back and running over distances short of her best. She hasn't been too bad crunching down the numbers in the back end of her races, but again, she can present as a low percentage play the way she maps. And look, there's been some pace that's taken out of the race with Go Nicholas. Our Nymph probably looks the default leader, but in a race that just lacks that genuine tempo, so could be quite tactical.
Okay, Man Barely Standing. How are you slicing this?
Really like the look of Concert Hall. It was a very nice win in the Thompson. I thought her run before that, when she was second behind Dawn Patrol, was even better. Flying. So I got Concert Hall on top. Very, very happy to stay there.
Yep.
And hopefully pick up a few gold pieces. I'll be interested,
as you tend to do.
Interested to see how demonetisation goes. It wasn't that long ago where was it the Foxbridge and behind Avantage, just another one that was flying hard. But I've got those two. I'll be playing around those two. But Concert Hall on top.
He was back to very near his best last time, demonetisation, wasn't he? Oh, Syracusa just knocked him off, and Wait for Age probably suits the horse now, Steve. But
it goes up 3 kilograms from the Karaka Classic, and Syracusa goes up 4 kilograms. So 1 kg difference. Is that going to be enough to turn the tables? Demonetisation had the right track conditions last start in the Karaka Classic, and it looks to be similar track conditions on Saturday, which is still a little bit of an unknown quantity. But hey, BP, Lava Glow, I know you've been a decent fan. You've been a decent fan of the stable, and great to see Billy Pinn back riding.
Wow.
I'm surprised the source isn't in your top 4.
Well, I mean, it's a big step up. I know Daniel Miller has got so much time for her as a horse that can get to a good grade, and this is the reason why they're having a shot at the stumps. Yeah, you're right. Great to see Billy back, because, of course, he's a jockey that quickly was on the scene, wasn't he? And look, he's a young man, and look, he's very young, and he was a big rise to prominence quite quickly. He decided to step away, and he wanted to do some different things, and probably learn a little bit more about life as well. And he's done that, and he's come back now, and he's ready to go. He's had a number of trial rides. He's actually been in play probably since after lockdown. He got in touch with me saying that he was just after lockdown keen to look at race riding once again. So he's been in and around stables for probably the last 12 months. I know he did a lot of work with Ken and Bev Kelso as well with them 12 months ago. So look, great to see a talented rider back in and amongst our ranks. And if he gets up and running very quickly and he puts some results on the board, boy, he'll be snaffled up, because just in that middle market of the jockeys ranks at the moment, things are bare. So he'll be a jockey that'll quickly gain a lot of rides if he gets his name on in lights once again.
I was going to say, any jockey would be any half decent jockey would be a welcome jockey at the moment, wouldn't they, Pops?
Well, I mean, we've just so many jockeys either out suspended or injured or have retired we're just low on troops at the moment. And this is giving opportunities as well to some riders that, either the apprentices or some of the lesser jockeys, they really aren't getting their opportunity to stand up as well. So that's another way you can look at it. This is also a chance for jockeys that don't get a full book of rides, a great opportunity to be able to show their best and make the most of it, because we've got a really busy summer coming up. And, you look at a guy like Vincent Colgan, for instance, he's come back with renewed vigor. He's got his neck back in order. He had a neck operation. Look, he's a bloke. If he gets dialed in, well, he's going to be in the top 3 or 4 this season, because he's just that good, and he'd be on the right sort of horses. He's associated with the right stables. So, it's important to be able to recognise the fact that we are a little bit low on troops, but let's just hope that it keeps coming from the bottom up, and those jockeys that don't get the opportunities really start to appreciate that and get the runs on the board, so to speak.
Yeah, make a note, Vincent Colgan for the premiership next year. Don't miss him.
Not sure about that, but he profiles as a lightweight jockey as well. I think he could get down to 48 kilograms. Yeah. He still has the option of a 3 kg claim in the right race. Back to BP. I see he's doing a lot of riding up at Cambridge. Is he under the care of a certain stable, a certain trainer? Is it possibly a Stephen Marsh or a Tony Pike? Because I see at the trials he's riding a lot of work, in particular for those 2 stables.
I'm not 100 on that. I know that he came back with Dan Miller, working for Dan Miller. when he was keen to be race riding once again. And then after that, I'm not sure what the process has been if he's associated with Marshall Pike. But as you said, he has been riding a lot for them, and he's got a number of rides for Stephen Marshall on the weekend as well. But in terms of who he's associated with, I can't answer that for you. Sorry, Stephen.
What about Chris Johnson this week? Because he was knocking on the door, wasn't he, of getting the record? And
still knocking.
Yeah, he's still knocking.
It would have been great to see him
this week.
Get it this week. You'd have to have a day out on Saturday. I think he's still 3 or 4 behind from memory.
Okay. So he's probably not going to happen this week. Well, that would have been great anyway. Doesn't always work out. Now I start worrying when you and Pops line up like this, but it sounds like you've lined up again here with Concert Hall. Is that right, Man Bearley Stanley? That's you, isn't it? And then a bit of demonetisation.
That's me.
BP, Concert Hall for you?
Yes, Concert Hall for me. Weary of the one horse, so true enough. So yeah, six to beat one.
Out of character.
Yeah.
His low figure and his top figure, there's little separation between those two. He's very consistent. So, And now that there's been a bit of pace taken out of the race, maybe he sits outside our nymph.
Yeah, okay. $5.50, true enough. We know he's better than what we saw at Hawke's Bay or Hastings that day. And a nice Tauranga Stakes, race number 7 on the card. That's probably, we're nearly there, guys. Better the daytime, perhaps, Man Bearley Stanley. You're the hot hand. May I say, after tipping Agon last Saturday, $3.20.
Yeah.
Well done. Started about $2.40.
Yeah.
Come on.
Probably foolishly, I'm going to open the shoulders this week.
You got away from, you had some success at $3.
I'm going to open the shoulder, have
Challenge
a swing.
yourself.
Swing. I'm going to have a shot at the boundary fence.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going that route. I'm going Dragon Storm in the New Zealand Cup.
Well, you might have been Pops to it.
Really keen.
Okay. $8.280.
That's me.
Okay. You could say you better the days Dragon Storm the place.
Oh, jeez.
No, okay.
Super sling race, is it?
Spring Sling.
Very good, Stephen.
Yeah, Spring Sling on the is it the 157th?
Correct.
In New Zealand Cup, Spring Sling.
Okay.
We did it on the New Zealand Trotting Cup. It was very popular.
Jeez.
So on to the New Zealand Gallops Cup.
Are you going to knock this on the head shortly?
That's
it. It's still going. We're supposed to be in Australia and
running out of cash. I'll give you the tip. So get in while you can, and because BP's still hanging around. Yes, we've got try time as well on the All Blacks Argentina match on Saturday night. So you can get stuck in there. And of course tonight we've got Premier Payout on races 1 to 6 at the Addington Greyhounds. Yeah,
I'm looking confused for a reason.
Oh, so you want me to tell you what
Please
Premier
tell what Premier Payout is? Yes.
So back a runner in race 1 to 6, and if it runs second, we'll pay you out as a winner up to $100 in bonus bets.
Sheepers.
BP's taken full advantage of these Premier Payouts before. So
you would have heard of this Premier Payout, Pops?
Yes. Great concept. Love it. We'll get the ear to the ground, have a quick chat to Mark Rosanoski and see if we can get the good oil there to see how we're going to play tonight at the Addington Hounds. My best bet, TAB try time. So All Blacks, is that right? Just that game, Mighty? No, Mighty 10 Cup?
Just the All Blacks game, yeah.
Okay, all right, just checking that.
He's disappointed.
Yeah, I am. Best bet, I like Tinker Mcphee. I'm going to run with her as my best bet in the 1,000 guineas. I think she's ready to go off the back of what she's done last time out in the start and taking on the boys. 2,000 guineas form out of the race. She was super into maiden win. Yes, it was only a maiden, but figures don't lie with what she was able to do in that race. So I'll go with Tinker Mcphee as my best.
Good man. You're unlucky with Sensei on that first day. Sort of back on the fence and found a bit of rump steak all the way up there.
Yes. That was a tough watch, but and he probably needs that firm track as well, doesn't he? Because he didn't quite let down again on his performance on Wednesday when he got back. And he does that sometimes second up, doesn't he, as well? He doesn't quite produce like he did first up, but he needs that firm track to be able to bounce off it. So he'll keep, though.
Yeah, okay. Good man.
You went the wrong way, BP. Sensei, your best bet of the day, but you had Bad and Bouge and Garia. I'd say it would have been quite a profitable day for yourself, but the best bet not getting home.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. I have got a multi-ticket that I shared with a number of people, and it was worth quite a lot. There was a lot of green ticks, and there was one little red mark next to Sensei. But hey, that's the game.
Mate. What's your 0900 number?
I hope you box them up.
I boxed them up. I didn't take a box multi, no, but I played it in a couple of other different ways. So look, cashing in, but that's the game, isn't it? That's the gamble. So yep, all good. Let's hope we can get a result on the weekend.
You're not broken yet. That's the main thing.
No. Jeez, no, absolutely not, Thad. Not ready to
break BP.
Take some punishment. Righto, Stephen. Enlighten us, mate. Bit of the day.
Look, I'll go with Salt Bay and race 8 at Tauranga. I thought it was quite a tricky meeting, considering the track conditions and the unknown around that. But Salt Bay and a race that's very winnable. I thought it was one of the more competitive races on the day, headed by London Express and Raposa Repeater. But just a bit of centre timing around Salt Bay. Comes up, fourth up. It's had a couple of wide gates to play with early in its preparation and was in the line very, very strong. In fact, it was comparable sectionals to Vici and Coventina Bay out of that last start. Tarapa third. Fourth was Vici, and that's been a subsequent winner last Saturday. And Coventina Bay placed in the listed race on Saturday.
Yeah, booming home.
And behind Mascarpone. So overall, that form is stacked up behind Monaco. I think it can turn the tables on Monaco through the weights. So Salt Bay, I think it's around about a $6 price, maybe $5.50. Is it?
Six for you. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, very nice. Loves the joint. Loves Tauranga.
It does.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Salt Bay. Some nice each way there, boys.
Very nice.
Thank you. Exactly. Thank you for your efforts as always.
Welcome back, Watermoo.
Oh, Billy, yeah, absolutely. Good to see him back. Yeah, good luck to him. And good luck to you, BP. We'll see you on our screens Saturday afternoon, no doubt.
Absolutely, yep. Punters Lounge early Saturday morning, and I think that first race is, what is it, just after 11 o'clock out of...
packing the races, aren't they?
I think 12 races, 5:11 for a crowd that will be sold out from what I'm hearing as well at Riccarton.
So making the most of it.
Oh, brilliant! Thanks, mate. Yeah, absolutely. They've got the people there. They're gonna have the races. Good luck to them. Thanks, boys. Thanks, Stephen, for your help as always. Man, barely standing.
Yep.
Best of luck on the weekend, mate.
Cheers.
Back a winner.
Don't forget to visit tab.co.nz and the Punters Lounge for all the T's and C's for the promotion. There's plenty of promotions.
You'd be to play those spring slings though, wouldn't you? If you could.
If you could.
What days you around to golf this weekend?
Oh, here we go.
Thank you, boys. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the League Up. We'll be back in 7 days' time. Where are we at? Where are we? Counties and Rangatiki, I think, just off the top of my head. Oh, we can have a chat about counties.
Pukekohe Breeders' Day, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, and don't forget the Masters. Starts tonight.
That's a different podcast.
We've got the birdie bonus for that as well. But I'm sure
shush.
BP's had a few goes there.
Brooks Kepka. Go to the Punters Lounge for the T's and C's. We've got to go. Thanks for joining us on the League Up. We'll see you in 7 days' time.